the NFC South heads east. It's the coach. This is week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it's our second international game of the year, and it's a good one in the NFC South, as we'll see the Carolina Panthers take on the home team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have a look at what's to come later at halftime, but first, let's get you to a couple of right fine chaps. It's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Newton. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Let's go. Do it. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. On the tackle there, Natrell Jamerson out of Wisconsin. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
Mike Evans is exactly what you're looking for in a receiver in today's NFL. Big, quick, can flat-out run, but makes great adjustments when the ball is in the air. Ranked number 3 last year in receiving yards, 1,000 yards receiving every year he's been in the league.
On play action, Winston. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 55 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now on 2nd and 13, Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Winston on 3rd and 2. That is caught. It's Perriman. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there for Carolina. And even 50 yards. A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of...
And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
So out come the Bucs now, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 55 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off, and coaches go, 2 hands! 2 hands still works!
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational-type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They go play action. Winston. And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Give him 32 on the play.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping him on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Newton now to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's going to go down again. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
He completes it to Evans. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Here's Winston. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep. And this is taken in at the 5.
Pass interference. Defense.
So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so he might as well have not even had the penalty.
And Gay knocks this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game has been Jameis Winston, who's been on target in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now a man open down the middle of the field. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Winston. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Jameis to throw it. Eluding the pressure. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. McCaffrey on the counter. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run with McCaffrey. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way. Take some time off the clock.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Mario Addison able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Let's go.
Winston. He's got this one complete to Perriman. A gain there of 21 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Jameis now on 1st down. That's caught by Howard. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop. They'll go again to Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bucs on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun. Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth-quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Winston now. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down. Stopped at the Panthers' 22.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 3rd and short yardage, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. On the jet sweep, this is Godwin. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. To throw, Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Mario Addison getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the 50, Newton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andrew Adams. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On first down, it's Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Newton now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Again, Newton. The quick slant caught. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
Ready?
Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton, and that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down. With this deficit, he might need to score a couple more times to give them a chance.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a first down carry by Jones. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly.